morning and welcome to Universal Studios Hollywood. We have so much to look at. We have attractions that are closing. We have Grinchmas starting in just over a week. Super Nintendo World is continuing to progress. So much stuff. Let's just head in the park. In the park, and it looks like they're rope dropping us. The first things to note is all the garland and Christmas decorations that are here on New York Street. You can see all of the Grinchmas decorations, and speaking of Grinchmas decorations, we now have a crane because they are installing stuff on the Grinchmas stage. This is really exciting. But even though it is blocked off, you can see the towering Grinchmas tree right behind me. It looks great. And last time we were here, it was off to the side a little bit, but they picked it up and they moved it back on the tree. So we know the Grinchmas show must be coming back. And speaking of trees, there's another big tree let's talk about. Let's head over to Universal CityWalk Hollywood. And here we are at Universal CityWalk with the Universal CityWalk Christmas tree right behind me. And it looks absolutely fantastic. I still think there's a couple things left to be added. I'm still missing a star at the top and a couple ornaments, and there's some holes in the tree that I'm sure will be filled in. We were actually here a couple days ago at Universal Cinema right next door. And when I was here at night, here's what the tree looked like just a couple days ago. So you can see they've been moving at lightning speed to finish this up. Speaking of moving at lightning speed, right next to it, the brand new screen has finally been unveiled. And while you can't really tell from the video that's playing on it now, it is much higher resolution. The videos I don't think have been upscaled yet, but there are certain text features that are way clearer, and the screen overall is just much brighter. So this is a welcome addition to CityWalk. And of course, right next to the tree and the brand new screen is Some Chocolate Emporium and Savory Feast Kitchen. Let's get a closer look. And it seems like every week we have more and more stuff to look at, but this week we have a lot of cool stuff. And that is most of the scenic elements have been installed. That's these pipes right up here on the side of the building, the pipes over here on the other side of the building. The big things we are missing are still a big pipe to go right here on the side of the building, and of course the Some Chocolate Emporium and Savory Feast Kitchen logo that's going to go right here up front. And we also have stuff inside of the restaurant too. It's very difficult to see right now during the daytime, but here's a look that I had at night. Just looking in, you can see some of the paintings that have been added. We do have tables and chairs in the restaurant now. Here's a look at that first floor, that buffet, which you can see right now through the open door just a little bit. We now have new paving outside the front, and it looks like all of the cement work, the stair work, and the floor work has been done. We have some lamps out front of the building that are still wrapped up. And the fact that we now have chairs and tables means we are getting a lot closer to this finally opening. And right across from Some is the former Halloween Horror Nights store. Every day is Halloween. Now, this might just be me, but that white that used to be a wave when it was Havana's and that turned orange for Halloween, I think looks to me like snow. And speaking of Havana's, they have moved the shoe cart location to be right outside of the former Blaze Pizza store. Okay, now back to Jake in the park. And we're back. Let's check out some decorations over on Pet's Place, where it looks like in the last week they've just added a lot of baubles and small garlands and wreaths. We don't have too much new at here of Secret Life of Pets Off the Leash, but turning this way, we do have something very exciting. And of course, that is the Despicable Me tree with all of the Minion ornaments. And of course, our Minion at the top holding a string of broken lights. I love this. And like I said earlier, it is pretty cold. So the Super Silly Funland splash area is closed. They might be opening it a little bit later, but seeing as it's about 50 degrees, I can't imagine any kid who wants to play in here. But let's head over to the former smoking section to go check on some Super Nintendo World. And I'm really sorry to report that from this angle, there really is not much of an update. The only thing that I can see that looks even a little bit different is the covering on top of the front of the Toad Cafe. It just looks like they've added a couple more panels. Now, I don't know if this is the thing that's going to be painted or if they're going to be putting something on top of this. But other than that, really nothing. I was kind of hoping we were going to have Bowser's head by now, but I guess not. One thing that has made a lot of progress is the building that took over the former commissary area. It's just gotten a little bit more fleshed out over the last week, as has the new Universal Creative Campus. Now, I do need to note there is a Twitter account that posted a rumor of a hotel going where the Universal Creative Campus is right now. Again, don't trust rumors unless you're hearing something direct from Universal. And we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But before we talk about something big coming from Universal, I do have to say, do not smoke. It kills you. Now, leaving the former smoking section, the Parisian streets have seen the addition of holiday lights adorning the top. This is kind of a unintentional tribute to the Osborne spectacle of lights that used to be in Disney's Hollywood studios. Here's what that used to look like. Now, of course, that was a lot more lights, but it's very cool that Universal does this. Very, very pretty. I was really hoping the rumors were not true, but they are. And they've finally been confirmed by Blue Loop, who's a very reliable industry source. And that is that both the Animal Actors show and the special effects show will be closing permanently on January 8th to make way for a new attraction. It is very sad that both Animal Actors and special effects show are closing. Now, I do think Animal Actors was the stronger out of the two shows. I did like special effects show more, but they kind of shortened it after the pandemic, and I think it lost its big finale, which made me a little upset, and it also needed to be updated a little bit. And this is sad. This is very sad news. It's always sad news when something closes, but hopefully it won't just be replaced by one thing, it'll be replaced by multiple things. I guess we'll see. Now, next to Animal Actors is the former La Llorona house from Halloween Horror Nights this year, and the facade is now completely gone. We still do have the tent, and it looks like we still do have walls inside the tent. Hopefully, this will all be open in a couple weeks when Grinchmas begins. Now, let's head into the lower lot. But before we get to the lower lot, let's take a look at Super Nintendo World. And from this angle, again, there's not much to see, although they have added a new awning right below where Bowser's head is going to be. Again, here's a look at what it looks like in Japan, just so you know what's coming. And it looks like there's some new scaffolding over on the queue for Mario Kart next to Bowser's Castle on the right-hand side. And of course, Toad's head continues to be built. Other things to note just from here on the Starway is that both Universal Monsters Legends Collide behind Revenge of the Mummy and Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which is over behind Transformers The Ride 3D, are both still, from what I can see, pretty fully intact. I wonder if just they're deconstructing houses one by one and these are just not a priority. I'm curious. But now let's head into the lower lot because I see a brand new Christmas tree that's up in Jurassic World, and there's a lot more to look at. As we get closer to the lower lot, I'm going to point out right here in Super Nintendo World over at Mount Beanpole, has those red and yellow blocks always been there? I can't tell. I haven't noticed them too often, but maybe they're new. But of course, from here in the lower lot, we do have to take a look at the beautiful Jurassic World Christmas tree, which has flying dinosaurs, beautiful tropical plants on them, and is gold and brown. This is a tree fitting of Jurassic World. Now this is an interesting development. The walls outside of Super Nintendo World and the warp pipe have been pushed back really far. Now they're all the way out here. They used to be way back there. Now they're all the way out here by the Transformers The Ride 3D entrance, but they are still see-through, which means we can still get a look inside. And from what limited we can see, it does still look like they're doing a lot of groundwork from here. It's very difficult to peer through here, but you can see they've tore up a lot of pavement and they're replacing it. I wonder if this is going to be colored in any way or what. I have no idea. We also have no update to the coloring of the warp pipe nor the coloring of the bricks behind the Super Nintendo World entrance, but these will likely be adjusted in the coming weeks. But while we're down here, I can't think of the last time I went on Transformers The Ride 3D, so I'm gonna head and go do that now. It's been a couple months. Now, the single rider line for this attraction was showing as closed, but I just asked and they let me in. So if you ever see a single rider attraction and you can't see if anyone's in the line, just ask, they'll let you in.
It's Rabbit. He's after the Allspark.
Now, next to Transformers, here's a look at that mystery construction and scaffolding. Now, it does appear to lead into the land, and it does look like there's some sort of arch structure in there. So, you know, this could be an entrance or maybe an exit to the land. I don't know. But we will see eventually what it ends up being. Anyway, I think we've seen a lot of stuff here at the lower lot. Let's head to the upper lot to check on some more stuff and go on the world-famous studio tour. But before we do that, I do want to look at wait times. Forbidden Journey's 15 minutes, Flight of the Hippogriff 10, Ollivanders 15, Studio Tour 10, Secret Life Pets 5, Despicable Me not open yet, Simpsons Ride is 20, Kung Fu Panda 10, Jurassic World 10, Transformers and Mummy both 5, Animal Actors and Special Effects Show Sad to see him go, but Waterworld is back open. That's really exciting. We'll have to check that out in the coming weeks. Now, right behind me is something I've not seen in my many years coming here, and that is Barge Simpson doing meet and greets not in line. She's just waiting outside of the Krusty Land and the Simpsons ride. That's awesome. Now, I did get this selfie with her, so that made me happy. And we did have a chat about what Bart thinks of the Grinch. Expect that video in the coming weeks. Now, one other casualty likely coming to the special effects show and the Animal Actors demolition is Production Central, the store that is underneath the bleachers of Animal Actors. And I mean, they would need to get rid of it in order to build something here, or they'd need to rebuild some sort of gift store for whatever attraction may or may not be coming. Now, heading into the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, we do have garland now above the arch and a lot more decorations, from the lamppost being decorated to all over the stores. It looks beautiful in here. It's really getting time for the holidays, even though they don't start here for a couple weeks. Now, last time I was here, I got a hot butterbeer, and I admitted I'd never had a cold butterbeer. So I'm going to try that for the first time right now. What is a cold butterbeer? Let's check it out. Now, unfortunately, they were out at 3 Broomsticks, so I had to go outside to the butterbeer cart to get it. But here's what it looks like. It looks to be some sort of cream soda. You still do get the foam on top. I think they're the same kind as the frozen butterbeer. But let's try it out. Okay, it literally tastes like if butterbeer was a soda. It's just carbonated frozen butterbeer. It's very, very sweet. I wish I'd known that, but it's good. Heading towards Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, looking at the stage, we have some Christmas trees up here with Slytherin and Gryffindor over here and Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw represented over there. I'm kind of a Ravendor, so I would be on both trees. And now it's time to leave the Wizarding World and head to the back pathway to go on the studio tour. Now, there are a lot of exciting things to check out on the studio tour, from Super Nintendo World to all the lower lot and backlot construction to possibly even some filming. Looking forward to it. Before heading in, I do want to point this out. Here's a look at the filming schedule. Just because they're on here does not mean they're filming today. It just means that they're generally filming. So like Access Hollywood, I don't think films on weekends, but it just says it's here on CityWalk. So here's our look at the Creative Campus and the former building taking off the commissary area. And here's our look at the back of Super Nintendo World and the extended queue for Mario Kart. And here's our look at the back of Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which looks the same as it did last week. And for the first time in a couple of weeks, we're heading back into 6 Points, Texas. And it looks like Jaws is back running. This is pretty exciting. And they dyed the lake again. Okay, it looks like the fire effects are not working today.
I don't see it anymore.
That's very interesting. So I hear the explosions, I just don't see them. It looks like the Harry Halloween stuff from Horror Nights is still up, and nothing has changed here at the Bates Motel either. Although it's interesting that all the doors are open inside the Bates Motel. I wonder if that's used for storage for Horror Nights. Coming down the Curious George parking structure, both the Scarecrow and Halloween houses still appear to be up, although they have started taking down the fencing outside. So back in the upper lot, I wanted to head inside the Universal Studio store because I hear there's still some Horror Nights merch, and it looks like there is. This is crazy that there's still Horror Nights merchandise left. This is 90% off if you want a Horror Nights poster. Seems like most of the shirts are still in stock, although not in regular sizes. These are extra small. But other than that, it's time for Grinchmas. Now, I won't be here for the next 2 weeks. I'm moving, and then we have Thanksgiving, and I'm traveling. So that means the next time I'm going to be here, it's going to be Grinchmas. So I will see you guys in a couple weeks. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.